Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the most OP guide on how to play Mantis in Marvel Rivals. Now Mantis is a healer, but that doesn't mean that she can't inflict a bunch of damage, and actually she will get her heals back if you hit a bunch of headshots. So you want to be a bit of a sniper with Mantis, as she can hit headshots and get yourself some heals and damage buffs. So the thing is, Mantis can heal herself when she heals others, and she can also inspire others if you use your E ability there to Allied Inspiration. So you can consume these orbs to give yourself a buff to the damage. You see the little leaves in the middle of the screen there. And when you hit headshots, you can see there that they replenish themselves. So those are your heals. So in order to be a good healer, you actually have to attack quite frequently. Now, another thing that I noticed, if someone comes in really close to you, what you can do is you can hit your melee attack in addition to your normal attack, and you can see there it wipes enemies out really quickly. I don't see anyone talking about that at all. Doctor Strange is another character that can do that, where they can attack and do their ranged attacks at the same time. Another thing to take note of is when Mantis has full health, she's going to have increased movement speed, which allows you to reposition. And you can see here that Mantis actually has insane amounts of range here. So the nice thing is you can actually play very back in the back lines, have your tanks grab all the aggro, and then you can literally just blast away, giving them heals when you get your headshots. So Mantis is a higher skill requirement character, but she is extremely strong. Now, some general tips and tricks for playing Mantis. I'll show you a video as well where I went 19-0 with no deaths, because she's really good at preventing anyone from going down, because her heals do healing over time. She also has a very good ultimate, which lets you still attack while it's up. It's somewhat similar to Luna's, but I think it's a little bit better in certain instances, because it'll give you a bunch of health and it'll give them bonus health as well. But on top of that, you can pop your ultimate, and while it's going, you can also continue to attack. So as you can see there, you can keep blasting while you got this going on, which allows you to do a bunch of different things that someone that plays Luna may not be able to. But really, the biggest thing is buffing your high damage dealers. So if you see a Hawkeye, or if you see a Black Widow, or Iron Man, Bucky even, go and heal. Give them that Allied Inspiration, pressing E to give that to the team. This is going to boost their damage, and it'll help you with getting more assists. This is a really big game that's focused on playing as a team. So if you buff your damage dealers, they're going to obviously give you a thumbs up at the end of the game, but you're going to be more likely to win if they're dealing damage like they should. So obviously keep an eye on the amount of health that your teammates have. That's going to be your #1 priority. But you can see here that she's really good at getting headshots off, and with that you get yourself your life orbs back. So that's really a big focus of her, getting your life orbs, giving them out to your team, and making sure that you have a good amount of them given at a time. If you see someone playing Adam Warlock, you can also play Mantis to get yourself a free revive, which is also extremely nice. But I'll show off a game, or there are 2 games I guess, where I did really well with Mantis. She doesn't go down often. Like you don't get eliminated if you're playing as Mantis and playing well. If you have a competent tank that's going to hold aggro, and if you keep them healed and stay at a distance, you're going to do well with Mantis. Again though, she has a really good offense, so don't be afraid to get up there. If you, or not get up there, but if someone comes back, you can start hitting them with this combo here, where you go attack, and you see it wipes them out really fast. So highly recommend Mantis, but here are some tips and tricks on how to get the most out of Mantis. You want to have Mantis in your back line, and always make sure that she's full of health, which is not that difficult because she's going to heal herself as you heal others. But keep an eye on your main tank there. We have Doctor Strange in both these games I'll be showcasing, but keeping him full of health is pretty important. He has a big shield which can help us with getting shots through it, which is nice. You can see there he's got a shield up, but I'm picking away at that Jeff Groot combination. But our ultimate's also really nice because we can get up here, and then you can use your buffs for applying additional damage to your team. So that's a nice way to be able to enhance the amount of damage that you're dishing out. Another thing Mantis does really well is if there's walls from Groot or any of the squids from Aquaman clone Namor, you can just go ahead and destroy those for your team, so your team can focus on dealing damage. Mantis's ultimate's also really nice for moments like this where people are about to go down. Luckily I was able to heal up everyone, including the Iron Man there, because Groot's ultimate did a number on them. But her ultimate as well as Luna's make for good counter ultimates whenever someone like Hela might drop theirs. But for the most part, you want to stick near your tank to make sure that they stay alive. Whenever you aim and go with your heals, it's going to go to the closest one to your cursor there. So Here I was able to luckily get off a double kill with no real effort. I was just running through, but the increased movement speed is really nice. Now, you may notice I'm jumping around a lot as Mantis. I find that that's good, especially if there's a bunch of people shooting at you. Just to stay more mobile, because you're going to run fast. Now, I buffed up the damage of Punisher there, and I find that that works really well since Punisher does a ton of damage. The ones that I would prioritize putting the damage buffs on are people like Iron Man, Hela, Punisher, Hawkeye, and even Black Widow. Any of the ranged damage classes I find work really well for this, but you'll know who's going off on your team, and if you see someone that's got a lot of eliminations, it might be a good idea to help buff them out. But you should always keep an eye on health first and foremost. Even if people are starting to drop a little bit of health, it's not a bad idea to get an orb on them, especially if you're at full health healing orbs here, because you want to have your refresh happening at any given time, because it takes 3 seconds for another one to appear. But you can see here that we're able to just play and pick away at the tanks and healers from the backline while everyone else is grabbing aggro. I find that people don't traditionally target Mantis that much. For whatever reason, I don't think people realize that she's much of a threat too much compared to some of the others. Like, people always go after Jeff because his ultimate is really annoying. And even Cloak and Dagger I find people go after, even though they have a nice way to get away. So Mantis, really great at keeping the team full of health. You can see here I have full orbs now, so this is a good time to see there. Put in an attack buff on someone like Punisher, who's going to get a bit more out of it. So we were able to get a really nice victory here where I went with 19 assists, 12 eliminations, and 0 deaths. So that was really good. But another game here. This is a different objective we're defending, but this one went really well too. Now, I find that just shooting off in corners, just like that there, you're able to actually get a lot of extra damage in. So aim for the corners, just roughly around heads level would be, and you can sometimes just fire there, firing away, and you'll pick off enemies, which whenever you get a headshot, you get your healing orbs back. So you can use this to help with getting more heals on your team. So playing offensively is actually not a bad idea. And you can see here, we're getting a ton of damage just from sticking back. And this damage is nice because it's going to help with picking away the enemies and putting more pressure on their healers to have to get in and heal them. Now, they had a Luna Snow who's a really good healer as well, but we were able to take care of them. Another thing is Jeff's going to do the grab there. It's kind of annoying to deal with, but your tank, if they go for them, like that's what happened there, make sure that you keep them full of health, because that's one thing that just happens. If you get distracted, the enemy's got a free attack there. That goes for all ultimates, really. I popped my ultimate here because it was a good idea. We were getting rushed. Unfortunately, the Luna there decided to pop hers too and didn't put it on the attack, but that was fine because we got the big win anyways. Now you can see here, Hela's ultimate's actually really annoying. This was a good time for our ultimates to go off because that'll help. That helped us keep us alive. As I mentioned earlier, having your healing ultimate as a counter ult actually works very well. So unfortunately, we had someone go down there. Iron Fist went really quickly. It's hard to keep your damage classes full of health, so obviously tank is a big priority with that. But knowing your positioning, like here I ran into the room and was able to get that knockout there and still applied a bunch of heals and did a bunch of damage. So sometimes playing at a range and just shooting at areas that you think are going to be popular is pretty decent. And unfortunately here, they got a hold of our Doctor Strange. Didn't realize that he's just going to fly his way back, but gave him a little healing buff and back to the battlefield. But as you can see there, they took out a couple of our teammates just because I was distracted with getting him out of there. So yeah, but you can see, really big offensive threat regardless of being a support class or not. Nice idea to go after some of the damaging classes like Psylocke there, which are kind of frustrating to deal with, but as long as your tank's alive, that's all that matters. So this is an easy guide on how to make Mantis a whole lot stronger in Marvel Rivals. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.